Yes. Thank you.
Jurgen, this top four is developing into quite a battle after that 0-0 draw in Manchester last night. I just wondered, does it give you any advantage having to wait until Monday to play, or is that of no significance at all? It's just a case of going out and doing what you've got to do.
Yes.
Next question.
I think it was already a battle before the game last night. No result, what would have given us a big advantage or something, and so didn't change a lot since yesterday. It's and it's all about us. It's still, I know we cannot reach Champions League. I don't know exactly how to say it, but we have not the 100% influence on it. But I think, always in football, it makes sense to focus on your own games and to win as much as you can, and then at the end you have to see what it was for. That's all. And yeah, it's very interesting, obviously, and exciting if you want. And and we are in the middle of it. That's good. And so we have to do our job and another 4 times, and then we will see.
Will you be strengthened in any capacity? Could you give us an update on Lallana, Henderson, Sturridge, and even the Mamadou Sakho situation?
Oh, okay. First of all, I think we saw the pictures with Mamadou. It was it looked really awful. So it could have been nearly everything. And so since we got the images from Crystal Palace, we know. Obviously, there are no ligaments involved, so that's, in a situation like this, maybe not for Crystal Palace, but of course for the player, the best thing he could get. It's now, I think he's out for a few weeks, but that's something which will be good at the end in the short term. But of course, at the end of the season, each injury is a big blow, because there's not a lot of time to recover if you want. So that's the one thing. The other thing is, for the boys here in the moment, is Adam is back in team training today, first time. So very, very good news. Hendo is not on the pitch so far. Nothing new to say about. And Daniel is in team training today too. That's good. And now we have to train with the boys and then to see how they are, in which shape they are, and then see what we can do with them. Just
on the Steven Gerrard being confirmed as the under-18s manager, it's great news for the development of the young players at the club, but he's vowed to introduce a more physical approach and curb this showboating mentality. Is that something that you would advocate?
Yeah. Best news, actually, and I really remember when we spoke first time about the future role, when I spoke to Stevie about his future role in the club, and asking what he wants to do and what's his idea is, what he wants to do. And it was pretty clear that he wants to be a manager in the future, and that's a fantastic thing, because for a player like him, he has all he needs to be a good manager. And if he gives himself the time to learn the job, because that's what you have to do, then everything will be good at the end. That's how it is. And so starting as in a club like Liverpool as a U18 manager is a fantastic opportunity. But first of all, not all former world-class players are ready to do this. And when I saw the excitement in his eyes, I was really happy about it, about giving him this opportunity. And so that's the classic win-win situation. Now, for the players, of course, our youth players in the future, in the next few years, it's a fantastic opportunity to work together with somebody like him, because he has not only a big experience, and if he says you need to be physical ready for the Premier League, then who could better know than him? And working on things like this with all the little, more or less advice what we can give, and my door is always open. Of course, he knows that. It will be good, and yeah, using his experience and obviously his readiness for learning and and doing the right things. How's that? Perfect situation, and really looking forward to it.
Peter, new deal with Dale Lovren. How big a figure for you is he in the next few weeks, but also in the next few seasons?
Look, that's very easy. I'm really happy about this decision because if you in a situation like this, and I know how football supporters think, and if you would have asked them after the Dortmund game, they would have said give him a 20-year contract, and then when you see the Crystal Palace game, and you think, oh, can we find another team who would have him? So, but of course, it's the truth is in between, if you want. And in a situation like this, you really have to look on outside. If Dejan would play for another club, you would think about signing him, and then you have to think about what would you have to pay for him, and it would be a big number of money. And having him around and signing him, giving him a new contract, working with him together. He's 27 years old. Best time for a centre half still to come. So that's how it is. And he has the head, obviously, I don't know exactly about it, but I heard about it. Difficult start at Liverpool, but meanwhile he has really settled, and so that's really good. It's really good. He's physical strong. He's quick. He's a good footballer. Sometimes, of course, decision making could be better. That's how it is. But nobody out there, and we watch a lot around all time, is perfect. So we really think we can. He can help us a lot, and we can help him in this a few decisive parts of his game, and that's what we want to do, and that's really good. And so happy about the news.
And looking at Watford, the last time you played them at Anfield, November, you won 6-1. You went to the top of the league.
Well, nice day, obviously.
On Monday, if results go against you the day before, you could go into that game in the 5th position. How frustrating is it?
That's not frustrating. How could it be? It's not. I cannot change the results we had, not the good, not the bad one. So it's a situation. So I don't think we should think about it. Or that's the situation. But if we win, what's obviously the target, what will be difficult enough. But if we win, then we can be we are in 3rd position again. I'm not 100% sure, but probably. And so that's all what we think about. How can we win this game? And since November, a lot of things changed at Watford. So style of play is different. Meanwhile, I remember a few weeks, maybe months ago, heard a little bit about rumors in Watford. Manager is not speaking English, all that stuff. Still working with Dolmetscher and all that stuff. Obviously, it's not a real problem anymore. So yeah, that's they have they developed. Actually, it's a good football playing side. Really good results in the last few games. Okay, the Tottenham game was obviously from the result side not too easy, but I remember when they played West Brom and they lost one defender with red card, another with injury, and when the manager said after the game, so I have no idea who I can line up in the middle of the park and in the next game, and obviously it's not too cool to play against Tottenham without your first lineup, and but in all the other games they were close to results, and the last few home games they won and all that stuff. So that's with clean sheets, I think. So that's all good, and so how's that? Good football team, but we are not there to praise their skills. Actually, we go there to fight them and to give our best, and we won the last 2 away games, if you want. So we even when the last result was not good. When I watched the game again, we had they played a few days later against Tottenham. Obviously, it was 1-0 with a shot from 25 or whatever yards. So it's not easy to create chance after chance against Crystal Palace, but we had them. I would say that the chance Emre Can had in the first half was, you cannot play better football. That's how it is. So we know how to play, even deep defending teams and all that stuff. And but of course you need to accept that you will not have 20 of them. We will not have 20 of them at Watford, but we need to defend as serious and as good as possible, and then use our chance in the other area. That's how it is, and I'm really happy about the week so far. Reaction, how it always was so far in training again, was good. Yes, after the game frustrated, but then immediately focused on the next game and all that stuff. So from this point of view, yeah, I'm positive.
Julian?
Yeah, because when you look back at that game against Watford and now last 4 months or so, have you learnt any more about your squad in this time that you didn't know already?
Yeah, that we will struggle when we lose too many players for injuries.
Bench last Sunday when you had quite a lot of young players on that bench, so that strength of squad. And you talk about struggling when you're the key players. Yeah,
but actually that was clear before. So it's not that we are surprised when Lallana is sidelined, when Sturridge is sidelined, Henderson is sidelined, Mané is sidelined. Only to name these 4 players, but a few more are not involved in the moment. So then of course we have problems. We cannot cope with this, but we couldn't create a situation where with this quality players to have them around and don't use them and don't need them. That was not the situation in this year. We didn't play international football, so we had to create a squad for this season. That's what we did, and now it was unlucky that they all in the same moment are not that we cannot use them. Well, that's the situation, and then the bench is pretty young. I think the average was 19.2 or something, but not too experienced. But we even then could have won the game. So that's how it is. So we don't have to think about the problems. We learn of the season, now you can imagine. So what we have to do, we are already working on it and strengthen the squad, all that stuff, that's clear. But we cannot make the decisions now, which or differently, which we made last summer. So, and I thought we built a really good squad. But too many injuries then, and then you have problems.
Michael?
Jurgen, you spoke about squeezing the last drop out of the remainder of the campaign with the 4 games to go. How have the players responded to those sort of hints that you've given them? We've yet to see them on the field, but in terms of what you've had from them in the build-up to this?
Good. This is the part of the season where it's not about you cannot train like crazy and make 2-hour sessions or whatever. We have to. We need to really judge the individual situation and then think about what we can do with him. So that's how it is always. But especially in the last part of the season. So we cannot. If we could get better now physically, for example, then we would have done a lot of things wrong in the past few months. So that's how it is. So it's about keeping rhythm. If there is rhythm, it's about doing the right things in the right moments. Working on the specific things you need for the next opponent. And nobody should be in doubt about our attitude. Belongs to. Or in case of qualification for Champions League, we want really to, and I thought everybody could see this in the game, even when it then doesn't work out. Before the Crystal Palace game, we won 2 games, which obviously a lot of people thought we could struggle. We didn't, and so if we would have struggled then and would have won Crystal Palace, maybe we would be now in a worse situation. So we cannot decide afterwards. We have to make decisions before and then to be prepared as good as possible for the next opponent. That's now Watford, and it's Monday night. And would it be better? It would be Saturday. I'm not sure. So now we can give Adam Lallana, he has 2 days more for training. So for us, it's good news. Is it then not so cool that the other teams already played and we could be 5th before the game? Yeah, if you have a look on the table, then maybe it's not too cool. But it's not about us to make these decisions. It's all about doing the right things, and we are really confident that we are doing the right things in training so far this week. Today, very important session. I said Adam involved, Daniel involved. Very important session. So to make them as match fit as possible is one of the targets of this week, of course, and then go to Watford and use the quality of the squad.
4 games left, it's still in your hands. If you win all 4, there's nothing that anybody else can do about it. But because it's tightening up with City, United, Arsenal, less room for manoeuvre, does that in itself create more pressure?
I think when we met here months ago at the beginning of the season, and we had this, I don't know, we were first or second in the table and all that stuff, and I said the only thing we can do is to be in the battle for the interesting positions at the end of the season, and the end of the season is now, of course. It's the last month of the season, so, and we are in a battle, so what else do we want? Yes, it would be nice if we would have 10 points more and fight with Chelsea for the title, but yeah. That's not for us, obviously, in this moment. So we have to fight for what we can fight for, and that's a Champions League spot, and that's or a Champions League place, and that's really, really interesting, to be honest. And is there more pressure? No, it's the pressure you create by your performances. And if we would have now 50-something points, we would fight for nothing. And that without pressure playing football, then we can ask, well, do we already plan the season? Yes, we do. The next season, yes, we do. But still concentrate and focus on this season. So it's in this moment, 3-4 days before the game, it's only positive, and there's nothing else. And will there come pressure? Yeah, of course. On Monday before the game, nobody will feel like it's a friendly game. It's a very important game, and yeah, we need to be ready for this. But we were often enough ready for this, so that nobody should be in doubt that we struggle there or whatever, that we couldn't deliver. From in this moment, everything for us is positive, is possible, and that's what we should try to show.
Ryan Bruce training with you again this week. Is that just a temporary thing because of the situation with injuries, or is he more permanently involved with you?
Well, Ryan made outstanding steps in the last few months. So he was because of the talent group is training one time a week here in Melwood and with Pep Linders, and I can see them then. I know him meanwhile for probably more than a year. And how it is with boys in this age, they grow, and that's good. Physical stronger meanwhile, wonderful skilled boy, real striker, good finisher, fantastic work ethic and all that stuff. So, but if all players are fit in the squad, yeah, he will not be in the squad in the moment. Of course not. Why should he? Then, but he is 17 years old now and plays already U21. So, is there a fix lineup player, and will do this next year also. So that's a wonderful step for him, and the next step in his development. So all is good. But if all the other players are fit, Ryan is not involved in the squad, but in a match day squad. But that's not a problem. But because he was on the bench last week, because we thought he deserved it and we could use him in the right moment. Yeah, the game was not for this, but it doesn't mean that it will not happen in the future. No, very good. He's on a very good way, honestly. Very good, very good boy.
How valuable was that involvement in the matchday squad for him last weekend? Even though he obviously didn't.
If you let you ask him, you could ask him, but we don't let you. Oh, that's cool. He was excited about. He was happy about. He told me afterwards when I said to him that he's in the squad, and if you have all the things with him what you need, I wash bag and things like this. Yes, but I don't have a suit. No problem. Yeah, so I don't like the suit too much, so it's not a problem. I would have preferred to wear the same thing than he did, but that was the only difference. So he has a lot of respect in the squad. Nobody thought, who is this? They know him because he's an ugly opponent, difficult to play opponent in training sessions. So it's all good, and I'm sure it was nice for him.
Thank you. No, thank you. No, Glenn? That concludes this part. We'll go into room 1 today, straight on.
Room 1, welcome.
Have a good weekend.